Thank you for taking this moment to breathe and to listen to what can change your life forever. My name is Ragnar Zinikas, and I'm the founder of Starpreneurs TV, How to Dominate the Decade talk show, World Women's Conference and Awards, the coach of the Changemaker, and co-author of the book From Zero to Success. My mission is to empower through education, and I want to thank you for taking the time and investing in your personal growth. Today, we have the honor to speak with Wanda D Hollis, aka the motivational queen, coach, speaker, author, and entrepreneur. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please help me to welcome Wanda. Wanda, tell us your story. Who is
Hey,
Wanda?
well, thank you. First, I want to say thank you, Resne, for having me today. It's an honor to be here, honor to be a part of the team. And just a little bit about me. Simply put, I'm a girl growing up in a big town called Detroit. Raised in an entrepreneur family, had that experience as what it felt like to be an entrepreneur very, very early. And I'm just a lover of life. I'm a person that's very passionate, likes to see people win, likes to help in any way that I can. So I take my skill sets and I just apply them to how I see fit. So I'm just enjoying life and taking it one moment at a time, doing my best and trying to help others do the same. So that's basically me in a nutshell. Live right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Just having a great time.
So I know that in Atlanta, Georgia, you are involved with the community in a way that I think a lot of would love to be, but they don't have the know-how. Let's talk about little why are you so passionate about the people, and what is your passion and purpose in life?
Well, a little story my auntie told me that I've always been this person, very, very optimistic and like to see people, just see people be happy. And being that in the community, I like to get involved. So I'm a person that wants to figure out where I can fit in and how I can help other people. And I find that to be the greatest joy of my life, just seeing other people, be happy. So I've merged myself in a lot of things within the community. Community events. When I was in Detroit, I was a part of the political scene, just helping get things that we need as a community, kind of like supporting the underdog, looking for a way to provide resources and just different, any way that I can get involved. You see something, injustice situation, and you just try to do your part in making it better. So this is what I do here in Atlanta, using the platforms that I have in media. That's how I operate now.
So we all are unique, and the way that we can influence and impact is also very unique, no? But
Mhm.
what would you say? How do you distinguish yourself in business and also in life? That what is this something that draws people to you and makes you an influencer?
Well, I use the platform of media and events. Those are two things that I'm drawn to, and people, because I think people can see when you genuinely care about them. That's what draws people to you. And if you have great listening skills, then you can find out what somebody needs or what they're trying to say and just how you can help that situation grow for them or give them the tools that they need. So I use my platform in that way to just help other people have the opportunities to perhaps get on and say for instance, if it's an author and they have a book coming out, then I want to support them. Or if they're a business owner, then we want to support them by showing up as the community, letting people know what they have going on, and just letting people um, feel free to come and partner. This is how we win, like what you're doing. It's a way where we all can just link up together and support one another. And that's how I do in everything I gotta do.
Beautiful. I know we are living in an era, especially now with COVID going on, and I think more than ever before we need the exposure because there have been a lot of entrepreneurs which ever haven't even been online. Not to mention that they have some
Mhm.
type of presence or exposure. What can you say? What are the common challenges when it comes to media exposure, and especially for entrepreneurs or startups who want to start with it?
I think the common problem is fear. Most people just don't know how to do it, and then they feel like they have to perfect it, in order to get started. And that's furthest from the truth. You just have to believe what you're doing. When if you're if you whatever you do, let's say you're a baker and you bake cookies or cakes or whatever. If you believe in your product, then you should want to tell everybody about your product. And letting media be a tool for you to get that exposure is the best thing you can do. And what I find that most people don't take advantage of we have loads of platforms that people can get onto. And media is so vast, being it underground media, mainstream media, you have social media, and you have print, and all this other kind of stuff. And if you're a business owner, one thing you want to do is get the exposure, because if you don't get the exposure, then you won't grow your business. So, this is why getting in front of people like yourself, getting coaches, getting whatever you need, mentors to help guide. So I think a lot of the problem why people don't do it very quickly is because of fear and because they just don't have the right, information. But once you get that information, then you should be good to go.
Can you give some golden nuggets? How can entrepreneurs really maximize media exposure and leverage their brand by doing so?
Good question. Golden nuggets. How can they maximize? Well, they can join our organization.
That's for sure.
Okay. Okay. They can reach out to you and any other chapter members and figure out how they can collaborate, partner. And that's one of the golden nuggets is collaborations in growing your getting that exposure and then growing your business is figuring out how you can collaborate. Another golden nugget is just being a good student, listening and finding the right type of energy that will allow you to be vulnerable to learn, and then you can pick up tools to grow. So don't be afraid to ask questions. That's one of my other. It's like they said in school, there's no such thing as a stupid answer, just or a stupid question. Just ask it. So don't be afraid to ask the questions that you need to help you. So those would be some great things that I would say to people in business, or just even if you're an entrepreneur and you're feeling stuck, seek help.
Yeah, and for sure, I couldn't agree more. Be coachable, be coachable, be coachable, because I think as soon as we tend to think that we have some type of experience in some topic, we sort of stop listening, as you said, listen,
Hmm.
and really be coachable, because we have all the excuses why the way that we have done things or why the way we have solved things is the right way. Nevertheless, we don't really get the results that we desire, no? But
Hmm.
another interesting question bumped into my mind when I was going through your very, very rich biography, which I just, that's why we're going step by step, because the essence of you is really incredible. Everything that you have already achieved, and I can only imagine what's coming next. But what are the greatest lessons that you have learned as the TV host for the I Am Enough on Status Network?
Well, A great lesson that I've learned from being a host and a producer of the I Am Enough show is patience. The one great lesson, and I guess that's a lesson in life, but n- I would say the greatest lesson is I didn't know how valuable that platform is until people come back to me and say things like, this really made the difference. A lot of times you can take your own power for granted. So a great lesson for me was identifying the strength in what I do, because I do it and it's so natural. I don't really, I'm in the game, so I'm not keeping score. But when you get these great um, talks that come back to you, when people come back and say, wow, or when you bump into people, I've met people out in the streets that said, I seen you, like online. And I'm like, really? Because most of the time I'm branded. And I'm like, wow. And they would say, yeah, I have. And I've been watching you for a few years. And I'm like, wow. So I realize how powerful the show is because it's not about me. It's about the guest. The subtitle is Your Dreams Matter because we want to promote that entrepreneur that may be stuck or even that person. You don't even have to be, it doesn't matter whether you're seasoned or a fresh entrepreneur, but anybody that has that passion, I want to promote the passion because people have to understand why you're doing what you're doing, not what you're doing, but why are you doing what you're doing, so that nugget for me was just in realizing that this is powerful because it's saving lives and it's touching people and it's making people believe, in themselves and go after life full fledged. So yeah, that's what I love.
Beautiful answer, and I couldn't again agree more because I think the ways that we can actually measure our impact and influence is by the stories which comes back to us, and then you really are surprised most of the time that wow, I never imagined that it can really go as far as it has grown. But let's talk about you as a coach. What do you think? What makes a coach unique, and why should every, let's say, startup or business owner hire one?
Well, I am a coach with the John Maxwell team, certified with them, and mainly in leadership. And I use my experiences, and also what I do is I hold people accountable. So for me in coaching, you can't get anywhere if you don't have a target. So a coach could possibly help you laser focus that target that you may not have been able to get it laser focused. I find most people are really, really scattered and all over the place. So a coach kind of like brings everything into focus with you. And in needing, or I should say, deciding on who is you'll choose to be your coach, figure out what the results that they get, or that you're looking for and that they can get for you. So you want to make sure that you have this mirrored relationship, where I call them partnerships. I don't even really consider myself as a coach, more or less as a partner, because you have to be a good listener, and you have to really see how far you can push somebody. And sometimes, I say I'm a push you, but I'm a pull you, but I'm not going to break you, because we have to realize that in order for anything to manifest, we have to be willing to come out of our comfort zone. And I think as a coach, you should be able to help somebody come out of their comfort zone, but yet with the wisdom and the guidance that you know who you're dealing with. So you don't want to push somebody away, even though I have. I've because people sometimes say that they want to do things and then they really, they really not ready to make that commitment to it. Because being an entrepreneur is not an easy task. It's not, anytime you're in charge or you working with other people, it's not always easy. So as a coach, you or selecting a coach, you want to find the right coach in the right area, um, and then you want to believe and trust and be coachable. You have to be coachable to get a coach, or if not, you just end up wasting a lot of money and not getting any results.
I totally agree. So I think there's also a lot of or confusion is a better word when people who have not been in personal growth arena, that not really understanding what is the difference with a coach and with a mentor. So what would you say that what's the difference, and do you have separately the people that you coach and the people that you mentor, and who has been your mentor?
Yes. Okay. So that was a lot of questions there.
Exactly. And everything goes to mentoring. So
okay. So yes, I've had coaches, and I have coaches now. I've had coaches that helped me, like when I first got in the space of writing. I had a book coach, that helped me put, or I should say, not my very first book, but when I did a collaboration, I had a coach, and then I started to more or less, they just helped me grow in that area of expanding the brand under that category. And there's a distinct difference between coaches and mentors. I would say a mentor is somebody that you probably look up to, and you should look up to your coach, but it's just different. To me, it's just a different feel. But maybe somebody that, for me, my mentors have been somebody that's been there, done that in that field. For example, I give you an example. This is when I was at one point in time, I was thinking about opening up a daycare center. And I didn't want to just jump into that business. So a friend of mine already had several. So I said, well, let me go and follow and donate time and learn the business. So that's how, she mentored me through that process. And then I determined that that wasn't something that I wanted to do. I learned, because when you're on the outside of a business, you can't really figure out what's happening until you get all the way inside of it. So with her instructions and just allowing me to learn things, I quickly learned that although I love children, I don't want that responsibility. That's not what I want to do. But she was a great mentor. And per se, getting a coach. Now, a coach will hold you accountable. A coach will have deadlines. So unlike a mentor, they're probably not going to have that kind of pressure on you because you're pretty much at your leisure with them. Whereas a coach, when you sit down, you should have a workable game plan, a schedule, have these accountability guidelines where you're saying, okay, you want to do this, you want to do that, in a certain time frame. And this is the difference between, in my opinion, between a coach and a mentor.
That's correct. So I know that we have talked many of the things that you are involved, but I also saw that that not only are you in coaching and speaking and then a author, but you own also a big real estate investment service. So what is this service, and who do you serve?
Well, and that's funny because I actually got into media by way of real estate. I started my very first broadcast and when I was with Keller Williams, and the market was kind of doing some crazy things. This was in 2010, I believe. So that's how I ended up in real estate. But the answer to your question is mainly investors, looking for deals for investors. Did a lot of we've done a lot of things. We help people with like their restructuring their mortgages. I'm like a liaison in identifying, troubleshooting, and then figuring out what should be the path. So it's almost like a lot of my expertise come into everything, working relations, working with people, negotiation, all of that. So my ideal person is anybody that's interested in real estate, wants to buy real estate, or maybe looking for properties, or want to figure out how to get rid of properties. We handle all of that stuff. And then we help in areas of money management as well. Excuse me. So that's what we do, and I absolutely love it. There's nothing like building wealth. You need a vehicle to build wealth, and real estate is a great asset to have in that wealth building category. So along with that, we teach, financial literacy. So there's a lot of things that's involved in that area that I'm passionate about.
So, is there any other project that you would like to share with us that you are part of, and where you sort of want to leave your footprint?
Oh wow. I am an author. So, in writing, and I would encourage anybody, write something that leaves a legacy. So, writing motivational books, did a collaboration. That collaboration pretty much came out of a transition. I had lost my mom and my grandparents in the same year within 5 months. So it drew to creating Wake Up Winning, no matter what, because losing isn't an option. So that was a collaboration. That was the first collaboration book I did. And where I like to leave my mark is just in what I do and who I am. So whether it's writing books or talking to you, I feel like every moment matters. Every second counts in life. To not squander those moments are very, very critical for me. And I've also been a part of other projects and productions. I've had the lovely opportunity of co-producing a stage play, been part of a movie that was very, very powerful, impactful. Face the Shadows talked about domestic violence, and I'm just, Regine, at my core, I want to just make this difference in the world that matters at the end of the day. So whatever I touch, I want it to be a part of who I am, whether it's a cause or a business or a person. I feel like we're connected through projects and people. And that's it. This life is just that simple. So me leaving an impact and a mark, I would like to just know that I influenced somebody and touched somebody, made them take action, made them appreciate who they are, made them love themselves.
Beautiful. Are you involved with any charity, non-profits? Are you operating on that field as well?
Yes, a couple. United Dialysis Foundation, they help with getting people kidney resources that have had kidney transplants. Also, Why I Care 20, they help service people under domestic violence situations, and also working with the youth. They work with the youth. I'm very involved in that company as well. My friend is the founder of that, and I help out as much as I can. I was a part of Option to Change, which is another organization that helps supports single moms and just people with going through transitions in life. So yeah, a little work. I put a little work in.
You you have mentioned here and there the book collaborations, but I know that you have written not one book, but many of them. What has been the inspiration for those books?
The inspiration, there's a lot of inspirations. At one point when I wrote my first book, the inspiration, the title of it is I Am Enough. And at that point, I think that it was me coming out as a person. I had been writing for a long time. So in writing for a long time, sometimes you don't, I hadn't went to publish yet. So that was the very first book, and it was filled with poetry and short stories, affirmations, because I'm a word girl, every word matters. And so that was like the first thing and then on the stamp of that, it's stop procrastinating. So it's taking the message of getting over whatever's limited belief we have, and making this difference, going after life. Very, very proud of that piece of work. So the inspiration was me realizing that I was enough, and that I had to step up, and although I was feeling like I was doing things, but I had also went under a lot of transitions, um had things, lost them, found myself, like I call it, life was upside down on me. So uh had to restart, and sometimes when you're restarting in life, you give up on your dreams, or you feel like you're inadequate. So even at my lowest point, I was always pushing other people, but I think I had to come in full focus with knowing who I was, and just not laying on the couch. I have these limitations. Shout out to some of my spiritual leaders for saying that it's okay to be depressed, but you got to put a timeline on it. You got to figure out a way to get off the couch. And writing has been one of my ways to getting off the couch. Same thing when we wrote Wake Up Winning No Matter What. As I mentioned before, going through that transition with my people, I had to dive into something that I know that I'm comfortable with, and that's helping other people. So I went full-fledged in that, gathered a group of co-authors to tell their stories about how they're winning. So I don't know if that answered the question or not.
Yes, for sure, because we in sort of when we see the authors and we see the books, and there's always something that spark that light why something is coming or is being
Yeah.
written. And also when we start to understand the science behind it's called, I believe it was called the thumb theory, that when we write, then we also go through our emotions, which also helps us to elevate our emotional intelligence. So I believe that it's a very powerful way, by the way, whoever you're listening, if you are struggling or if you are under depression, then start to journal, because
Absolutely.
it really does help. And it's not what I am saying or Wanda is saying, but there's actually significant proof by our science that it really does work.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why it's always for me interesting, and I'm curious about it, because I know that something provoked that book to happen. It wasn't just like, I should write the book, so today I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to write the book, because it always goes back to some emotion, some type of moment, transformational moment in your life, where you see that that's important, and I think it's worth telling my story to others, that whether it can help them, whether it can motivate them, inspire them, or just to say, like, you know what, you don't want to do the same mistake that I did, so you better learn from it. So
Right, right, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And it's such a joy, when you come to the end, like I work one of my partners now that I'm helping with getting their first book published, coming to the end of having that final manuscript in your hand, like that's the biggest joy because it's like you finally completed it. A lot of people start things and they don't finish it. So it's nothing like becoming a published author when you could say, you can find my stuff, I'm published, I got a number on the back and everything else. So, it's definitely a blessing to be able to bring that from thought to manifestation.
this was the answer of the accountability coach, by the way. You could see now why she's so good at it, because it needs to have the start and the ending. And that's what most of the people, yes, I agree, we are lacking because of all the distractions, and we are addicted to distractions in nowadays. So, but let's see, what do you think? Everything has changed, the way that we looked at our business, the way that we looked at our life, the way that we looked even the social gatherings. Everything has changed. Like there is nothing that was is really working the same way as let's say 6 months ago. What do you think, considering all of that, what will the future bring to Wanda personally and professionally?
Wow, that's a great question. I don't even know the answer to that.
That's good, because it's like it pushes you now to think like what could be the, let's say, something which I think a lot of people are very afraid even to make plans today. And
Mhm,
why I ask that question is actually to put the people, even if you are a coach, even if you are a mentor, even if whatever you do, to put yourself in a situation that you are like taking the conscious focus on it, like, but really,
mhm,
like, what can I do today, or where do you want to go, and what
mhm.
should be like, just to start to think, because a lot of people are very like, okay, I need to wait, I need to see what's going go, like going with the flow, no, which is, I
Right.
think, from the accountability point of view, the worst thing which you can do. And when you
Let's go
want to
with the
get stuck,
flow.
go with the flow.
Go with the
So
flow.
then
Yo, they
then the life happens to you, not for you now. So
Right. And it's a true fact that, if you're trying to really break from the normal life patterns of people, you want to go in the opposite way of the flow. You don't want to go with the flow. You want to go, if they're swimming downstream, you want to try to swim upstream. I'm just saying. But you don't know. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring, but I stay present in the moment and I prepare for the future. So my business model is clear. Like we have an event planned next year. We don't know whether we're actually going to be, hands off, but you still have to make preparation. And this is where, as I'm planning my life, I'm proud to say I have a new grandbaby. So, I'm planning a
congratulations.
thank you. I always give him a plug. It's Messiah. Uh, and but you have to plan because you have to be prepared as much as you can, but you also have to be flexible. So this is where we have to stay committed to our passions, but just learn how to be flexible with how we get there. So I know a lot of people, like I was already online, I was already using all the social media. So I didn't have to per se get started right away in that area because I was already there. But for people realizing that they have to pivot, they have to pivot now. They have to figure things out that they didn't have to figure out 6 months ago. So with myself in my life, my personal life, I'm just planning on doing what I've done in the past, which is just live life moment by moment, but plan accordingly. So and staying falling in love more with myself, so I'm taking better care of myself, making sure stay, just certain things that you do all the time, that I do all the time, continue to do them, learn and grow. Personal development is always something that you always have to go after. And then my business, just learning, or I should say pivoting into more digital space, so we've putting a lot of services online, whereas before, I depended mainly on events, social gatherings, because I like people. I like to be in a room. That's where I feel like my magic is just really sparkling. But, to just figure out how you can do that now more so, because personally, we're not going back to how it was. This is a new world right now, and we have to figure out how we can get in here and make everything work out for us.
Yes, exactly. Before Wanda is going to give us her 3 recommendations how to dominate the decade, I want to thank you that you took the time, that you have been listening. I hope that you have your notebook with you. You have been taking the notes, because as you heard, we were sharing some golden nuggets. And if you didn't do that, then just go back to this video and write things down. Why do you need to write things down? In a few minutes, I will tell you why. But and also, if you're watching, if you have comments, if you have any questions, then you can leave them below the video. After the video will be premiered, we will make sure that all the questions will be answered. So, Wanda, what is your secret source how to dominate the decade?
My secret source how to dominate the decade is, one, is always position yourself for your personal development. Always learn, and always, and this is one answer first. Learning where the things that resonate with your soul, the things that matter. So don't don't feel like you need to learn everything, but learn specifically what you need to learn in whatever areas you're working in, but stay on top of that. So that would be one thing, to constantly keep learning, keep in personal development with that. So that would be my number one thing to do.
Beautiful. And any others,
And
or
and oh yeah,
that's yours?
I'm gonna give you all three. I'm gonna give you all three. I didn't know if you were gonna say one, two, three, go, or whatever. So yeah, so the one is, one, always keep learning. Two is to connect with people that will push you and challenge you. Because again, like I said, we're people and projects. So you always want to have that person that in your life that will push you towards whatever you said you're going to go, like that person that you can confide in, whether it's a coach, a friend, a mentor. Don't hang out with the friend that you're trying to lose weight and then y'all see the highlight sign with Krispy Kremes and you probably don't know what that means, but they do in Atlanta. So you want to always connect with the people that resonates with what you want to do. To me, that's how you're dominating the decade. When you are partnering up with people that's moving like you're moving, you're in good shape. And the third thing is to be forgiving. Dominating the decade, in my mind, means to forgive any past things that didn't work out for you, any people that you feel like hurt you, or anything like that. Just forgive. And I know I'm speaking from a holistic principle, because in what I do outside of just the business and all of that stuff, we are spirit. And the spirit has to always be forgiving and loving. So in my whole realm of domination, it comes with one, love, dominating the spirit of self. So if I can forgive myself, I'm doing great. If I can partner with people that's a part of the things that I want to connect with, I'm doing great. And if I keep learning the things that I need to learn, I'm doing great. And that's how we're dominating the decade.
Beautiful. I really hope that you did take notes, because I think they are very relevant points that Wanda brought to us, and very applicable in every single life. So, Wanda, if someone wants to follow you, if someone wants to contact you, what is the best way to do so?
The best way is, please go check out my website, IamEnough365.com. Very simple, IamEnough365.com. You can follow me on all social media. Just look for Wanda D Hollis. I'm on all social media platforms: Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Periscope, you know, Pinterest, you name it, TikTok. Wanda D Hollis. It's easy to find.
Beautiful. Wanda, what would be the one last message that you want people that took the time to see this, that they take with them, and maybe when they think of you, they would remember that message?
My one message, that's a great question. My one message would be to always believe in yourself and follow your dreams. Don't waste time doing things that you don't matter, that doesn't matter to you. Don't waste time being miserable. Figure out a way how to get out of any miserable situation quickly and chase your dream, and then get with anybody that can help you, hold you accountable, where you can reach your goals. Live your life now in the present moment and be happy with yourself, because you matter.
Beautiful. Very well put, and absolutely incredible to remember. We will remember Wanda and her message. So, getting back, Wanda, first of all, I want to thank you for taking the time and really adding so much value to our community today, and also adding value to me, because I think there were great reminders to start with, a lot of things that like forgiveness, which is something that we tend maybe not to think of it that much, and we maybe think of those moments when it's too late. Fortunately or unfortunately would be the word that I wanted to use. So so today I will I would love you that you're watching. If there's a moment in your life that you need to forgive yourself, maybe if there is a person that you need to forgive, then just remember that until you don't forgive yourself or that person, you are carrying that heavy bag with you. And it's not destroying the other person, it's destroying you. And that destroys your life, that destroys your business, that destroys your health and wealth. So take action. And now we get to the point why you need to write things down. Not only to write things down, but also to take action on them. So if you want to change your life, if you want to become the hero of your life, what you need to do, take action on those points that you wrote down today. But you can also become the hero in someone else's life. How? By sharing this video. Because we never know who needs to hear Wanda's story, who needs to know the golden nuggets which were shared, and who will be inspired to take action because of this story which was shared today. So become the hero of your life and in someone else's life. I will see you in next episode. Thank you very much for investing in yourself and in your future. Wanda, it was a great pleasure to have you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for having me. And I'm looking forward to meeting you in person soon.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.